Hey friends, welcome back to Two Bears Homestead. Today we are simply canning the humble carrot. So part of my January, I guess, self-challenge is to get as much up on the shelf as I can this month. And so far I think I'm on track. And it's simple things like, like last week we did green beans, getting the carrots on the shelf. I'll do some stocks and some other things to put, ingredient ready product on the shelf so I don't have to go to the supermarket. So I already have a substantial amount of stuff done. Like between the holidays, I did a ton of turkey, chicken, bone broth, so I'm pretty much caught up there. But I wanted to do the carrots because, first of all, I found carrots on sale, and it was like $1. I don't know, it was like $1 for a 5-pound bag. Maybe it was $1.25. I don't remember. But I got 10 pounds of carrots. But I'm only doing 5 pounds because I want to save the other 5 pounds for another recipe. So we're going to go ahead and get the carrots. I'm going to do 3 different ways. Well, it's plain and then 2 additional ways. So I'm going to be doing a not lemon, but a orange ginger carrot, and then honey. I'm going to put a little bit of honey in a jar, and then the third flavor is going to be plain. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. Pretty straightforward. Just know when you're canning vegetables, you can add neutral ingredients like dried herbs and seasonings to the jar, just not fresh. And the dried ginger and then the orange juice is a neutral addition to the jar, so that's not going to be take it out of any kind of safety zone. But if you decide that you want to put like onions in a jar with the carrots, or if you were doing green beans or something and you wanted to add something to it, if you wanted to add onions to it, for instance, then you would have to can to the time for onions instead of the green bean or the carrot. In this case, it's the carrot. So I didn't want to do that because carrots, once they reach that cook stage, that's it. You can overcook them and then you just turn to mush. So I opted not to do the onions. So, I think I would have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure, if I added like a tablespoon or whatever amount to the jar of onion, I'm pretty sure that would have been a 40 or a 45-minute pressure can, and that's a little too long for carrots. So we're going to go ahead and just going to kind of stay neutral territory and get the carrots canned up, and away we go. But before that, because it's literally just peeling and cutting carrots, I have already got the carrots peeled and cut to the 2 different styles that I want to use, and then the canner is all ready to go, jars are in it, and then the boiling water for the raw pack is ready to go. So it really is pretty straightforward. So here we go. Okay, so when I do the standing up carrots in the jar or the quarter cut, what I like to do is pre-measure the first couple of carrots. So what I'll do here is I take in the carrot, trim the end off so it's flat, and then just stick it in the jar and get a visual of how long it needs to be for a 1-inch headspace. And that's kind of, it's hard to do when you're fumbling it like that. So we're talking, this much carrot. So I'll just flip it around because I'm a lefty. And that's basically the length that we're going to need in the jar. So I'll take those pieces and I will, the thick carrots, cut them into lengthwise quarters. And then when I start packing them in the jar, I'll stand them up and I'll pack them nice and tightly. And then that'll leave me, it's hard, there you go. And that'll leave me with the 1-inch headspace there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get them cut up. But I'm gonna leave one on the cutting board because these will be my guide for cutting the rest of the carrots up. So each jar is going to get a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I'm using Redmond's real salt. So just a 1/2 teaspoon in each jar is enough. Now this is optional, you don't have to can with the salt. This time I wanted to because I have canned carrots in the past without salt, and I think I might prefer a little bit of the salt. So the salt in these jars, I'm working in batches, and then I have my long cut carrot. Now, like I said to you earlier, I already pre-measured, to the jar. So gonna go ahead and we're just going to pack the jar with these, shake them in, get them in there. This is raw pack. These are uncooked carrots. Probably get one more in there. There we go. Okay, like this jar here looks like I undershot on the measurement a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just throw some of my other cut carrots in there. It doesn't need to be perfect. So have the 4 jars here. I think I'm going to do 2 with the ginger and the ginger orange, and then I'll do the other 2 honey. So for the ginger, now when you're adding dry spices, you do not want to go overboard. So I'm thinking for the ginger, I think 1/8 of a teaspoon is going to be plenty in the jar. I think it might just be overpowering if I do any more than 1/8 of a teaspoon. So we get the 1/8 of a teaspoon there. Now the orange juice, I'm going to put in, and this is fresh squeezed orange juice, I'm going to go ahead and put in a tablespoon in each jar. I think that should be sufficient to give it that orange flavor. You know what? Tablespoon and like 1/4, because I got a little bit of orange juice left, and I'll just drink it. And then that's it for these jars. Now for the honey, I'm gonna kind of wing it a little bit here. So this is local honey. And I think, I mean, a little bit of honey goes a long way. I think I'm just going to just drizzle in. It looks like it might just turn out to be about 1/2 of a teaspoon. It might be a little bit more. Just going to drizzle some honey in the jar. And that's all we really need. And now I have just plain water, plain hot water on the stove, and we're just going to pour this in. And you just want to, in this case, you can just get away with shaking the jars, get the air out. And then we're just looking for the 1-inch head space. So I just took a little bit of hot water on a paper towel just to wipe the top of these rims off, make sure none of the spice got on it. Boy, this is hot. I find that in my little cheat. I just grab the jar and spin it. And so I know what is what, I'm just going to put H on there for the honey, and then the OG for the orange ginger. So I just know what's what in the canner. So these guys are ready to go in the canner, and then we just need to get the other jars out for the plain carrots. them all loosely secured, now I go back and tighten in rotation, just like you're doing a tire, and get them all snug as you can get them. Then I just go ahead and turn my canner up and start getting it to the vent. So we're ready to roll. So what you'll see here, these are just out of the canner. I actually let them sit in the canner a little bit longer than I normally would have because I was working on something else and I just got a little distracted. But the canner was open and I was letting them cool, so that's fine. But you'll notice that the carrots are floating a little bit. That's perfectly normal. As they cool down, they'll settle back down in the jar. And you can see slightly, I'm not sure if it's going to show up on the video, but they're still doing a little bit of bubbling. So they're all in pretty good shape. And it looks like all of the jars are going to be sealed just fine. So I think we're in pretty good shape there. So that's it. So I got, 7 pints. I'm happy with it. These 2 are the orange ginger, these 2 are the honey, and these are the plain. So I'm excited to see I'm especially interested in the orange ginger and see how that comes out, because I kind of like that flavor profile, so it'll be interesting. And these are the books that I use kind of as my Bible for canning. So all the guidelines are in this. So this is the USDA Complete Guide to Home Canning. So Complete Guide to Home Canning, and it's a great little book. I mean, it's very basic, but it's got all the major food groups and all the major processes in there. Then of course I also use the Complete Book of Home Preserving. So I use this book a lot too, and there's a lot of different recipes in there. And there's several other resources that I use out there as well. Basic. I was going to add orange zest in with the orange ginger carrot, but I was unsure if the orange zest was safe. I'm pretty sure it is, but I just didn't want to take a chance. I want to try to do a little more research on that. So I just opted for the orange juice, and then that was that. So that's pretty much it. Following the rules for canning. It's a low acid vegetable, so it must be pressure canned. Now there are going to be those out there that say you can water bath can it and so forth. The proper answer is no, you cannot water bath can carrots. It must be pressured, and it must be 10 pounds for, 20 minutes. So that's that. There's no gray area in that. There are going to be those that say, oh, you can water bath it until the cows come home, and the Amish did it, and the Mennonites did it, and my grandma did it, and my great-grandma did it, and they're not dead, blah, 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 blah. No. The fact of the matter is low acid foods should go through the pressure canner. Now, again, your kitchen, your rules, do whatever you want, but in my kitchen, this is how I do it, and I will not teach people what I know to be an incorrect way to do it. So again, your kitchen, your rule. So that's it. I'm not going to get on a high horse about it because it's just, it's kind of like politics. You can fight about it until the cows come home. But my carrots are done. I'm happy with the results. I probably will go grab another bag of carrots at some point. I'm not going to make another video about carrots, but I think I'll go ahead and get it because we like carrots more than we like green beans, but it's weird. We just don't eat them that much. Like, we don't think about it sometimes. So having them at the ready on the pantry is a great way to do it. And again, I paid $1 for I think it was $1.29 for the carrots. I gotta go look. I don't remember. But essentially, we're still talking pennies on the dollar for each jar versus canned carrots, which I'm sure is probably anywhere between $2 and $3 a can at the supermarket. So, and I don't like canned carrots at the supermarket. These are way better. I've canned carrots before. This is way better. So that's it. I'm kind of rambling on. So if you like what you've seen in the videos and any of our other videos, please hit that like and subscribe button. And also, please share our videos. That's one of the best ways you can help our channel grow, is to let your friends know and somebody that may be interested in it. I'd love to share, and I'd love your feedback. So I look forward to your comments below. And that's it. We'll see you on the next video. Take care now.